Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Okay, so let's wait 1 minute. And after that, we will start. Okay, so welcome everyone to our 64th weekly DeFi governance call. So we have the presentation of Flex Beta today. So Beta, so without further ado, please take the screen.
Sure, I will. Second. Okay, so well, a lot of you, as we see now, joined the closed group for the testing of the closed beta, and so I don't know if you know this. Some of you have been already been able to test, as I saw, and so I will quickly just summarize what is it again. Now, before that, I will just tell that, of course, currently this is not the latest version because this is the latest public version. Of course, we have a more advanced version which we're testing internally yet, but we will roll out these versions into this closed beta as they are progressing. So so a lot of feedback that you are giving now, we already got, and it will be refactoring. But again. Nevertheless, please suggest anything or report anything that you see. So just again, a few words about how it works. So the website that you're using now, it won't be the website, it won't be the web interface, it will be Electron standalone applications for all the platforms separately. And the reason for that is that we want this experience that you can currently, like if I press here, yeah, choose this, I don't know if you see my mouse, but I choose this 5.5 and I want to execute this order, all I have to do is this, right? That's all. So I just clicked on this, buy 30 Felix, nothing else. And so we don't want a confirmation for every step of your trading, because this is how normal trading should look like. Here's my order has been executed. That's it. Now it's all changed. This is the taker order, and I just bought it for 5.5. You can see this is my trade. It just happened now, 16:03 and 42. So, and that's experience we really want for the user, because we want to go after Binance with that, FTX, Binance, whatever. So in order to do that, we need to manage keys. And management of the keys and Flex is a very complicated thing, but which allows very non-complicated user experience, hopefully. But for managing these keys, we don't want to leave it in the browser. So therefore, the decision has been taken to make it a standalone application, like you have today in Interactive Brokers, for example, or some other like clients that you used to have as a normal trader. This allows us to have the built-in experience of multi-trader kind of team policy-based trading, as any institutional trader would demand. And that's already done. It's already implemented. And if you go to Flex right now, when you start the account, you will see this QR code, which will send you to auth debot and surf. And auth debot and surf is actually what you, if you're not an individual trader, but if you want to create a team of traders, then you will just pass this link to your superior, to your manager, and your manager will operate the auth debot from his account, from the central account, which can be a multi-sig account, for example. And then he will give you, or she will give you, the allowance, like she will send you, deposit you into your account this. Like, so I have this deposit, so this was deposited. And if you go and you do it yourself, if you just use your QR code with your own surf account, and you will go through this procedure. Now, today, this debot is very complicated, not complicated, but it involves several steps. These steps are there to deploy all the accounts that are necessary accounts and index accounts, because we need to know how many of these wallets has been deployed in order to manage that. It can support like 100 traders, and each of the traders will have, may have many tip3, because right now it's only FLX. You have the market on the FLX, but obviously you will have many of the currencies here. And in order to manage all that, you need to deploy a lot of stuff, a lot of indexes, and so on and so forth. So therefore, it will be refactored, this debot, so it will be easier. But right now you just go through all the steps there. So once you are done, and yeah, we know that there is a lot of like unnecessary complexities where they ask you twice to what amount you want to deposit. It's not very intuitive. We're working on making this much simpler, this debot. But if you go through that, if you click all the buttons, you will see this. That will give you like the amount of the tip3. All of that is tip3. So you have tokens right now, like Evers, and I bought some FLX already. And you have also the native Evers on each of these tip3. These are just to pay the fees. Right? So you have to remember I was making the mistake by depositing 100,000. And because of this debot, when I used it first time, I also didn't know what it all means. So yeah, that shit happens. But anyway, you can destroy the account. You can take this money back. So it's not stuck there forever. But nevertheless, so these are the fees. Now, Flex will not use a native token, so it's all wrapped. But we are not going to tell that it's wrapped. The user doesn't need to know that from our perspective. So all tokens that you will see here will be just, if you go to Binance today, all the tokens that you have there, all the currencies that you have there are all wrapped because they're all just numbers in the database. But nobody tell you that, and we don't want to complicate user life to go and to go wrap the token, unwrap the token, see this is wrap token, not wrap token. We just operate on this is the token, this is your balance, and when you go withdraw this, which currently is not working yet, but there will be a button withdraw here. When you withdraw the tokens, the wrapper will just do automatically, and we will deposit you unwrapped tokens back into your wallet, and it will all be like users don't need to know that they have wrapped tokens. So it will never be here. So you will see BTC here, like Bitcoin. You will see Ethereum here, and all of the tokens without any knowledge of their wrap, not wrap, not interesting. Okay, what else? So here you will see all your like balances, including the balances that are currently in orders, which means in orders means here, basically my maker orders. So remember that Flex supporting taker maker. Now taker maker is one of the obviously inherited features of the order book exchange. The difference between taker and maker, for whoever doesn't know that, is that maker is somebody who provides liquidity. So for example, I have two orders where I am maker. So I'm 970 and 648 and 5.3. This is my order. This is my order. You see, this is on open order. I provided this liquidity. Whoever will trade against me here So taker will want to come and execute that. I will see it here as a maker. So that's execution against my open order as a maker, and I get the fees kickback. So this fee is actually I'm making that fee. The taker pays the fee, and part of the fees goes to maker, whoever provided the liquidity. So this is one of the things where we encourage someone to provide liquidity, because on every trade you get obviously the kickback in fees. So now you can see all these kickbacks in here in your trade history. Trades are here. These are all the trades. Well, last several trades of the of the whole thing. Here is an order book, and here is the trading view and depth. So you can see the order book depth here. You can go and see like all depth of the whole, because you don't see all the order book here, because you only see like whatever is fitting here. So in order to see all the order book, we can go here, and you can see it's quite deep. Someone wants to buy them on 0.1. Anyway, so yeah. And then a normal trading view, like in any other exchange, with all the nice features that you can have here, and so on. So that's pretty standard. Now, see here, you see like the statistics for this particular market token, Felix against Ever. Now, what works right now? It's actually, these orders currently are not limit orders. So this is going to change. I mean, the limit order is not yet implemented. It will not be in the first version. It will be in the second version quite soon. But we would just want to first deal with spot orders. So everything you see here is spot. So if I click here, 6 and 230, right? 230 tokens on 6, I can buy some of them. Let's say I want to buy like 30. Immediate or cancel. This works. This flag means that the order will be executed or not. So if it's not executed, I will get the funds back. So let's put this order. So I'm going to buy here, and limit order will not perform this operation like that. Limit order, if I put 6, price 6 and 30, it will actually collect the 30 from here, from 5.6 here it was executed. Yeah, the 5.6, because it's beta price. So limit order will actually go search for beta price, the best execution, and in your limits, of course, the limits you will need to. Okay, but I hope you know what limit orders means. Okay, but of course, we will support limit orders because it's actually limit order book, distributed limit order book. So yeah, limit orders will be executed, but not on the first step. So right now you will just need to click on spot, do the manual work of limit orders. But because it's very fast, actually, as you can see, you can manage that quite easily. This. Other than that, because limit order will be executed on the bots. So in a way, it's the same, like the bots will see whatever you see, and it will just execute that automatically, the logic that you can do manually. Okay, so nothing fancy. And we will do limit orders quite simply, but right now it's the more interesting types of orders are good until executed and stuff like that, which will be quite tricky to implement, but we will do that as well. So right now, okay, immediate or cancel works, post order works. That's a maker order. So if I put sell 6 and 30, same you see here is still there. So if I put it here right now in post, it will be adding here. Nobody will it will not be executed. So I will just add liquidity here with this order on that. By the way, we have a bug right now in subscriptions, because we moved from pooling to subscriptions. Some subscriptions don't work I think in order book. So you may not see this updated, but it will be fixed today if it's not fixed already. All right, so you have this post. If you don't put post or immediate or cancel, if you execute an order, that will be it. If you don't have the full order fulfillment, it will execute the taker order on the part that it has, it is possible to fulfill, and then the rest will be left as a maker order. So it's like partial maker, partial taker. Quite simple, quite standard stuff, actually. So, well, I think that's more or less it, actually. Questions?
Good. Thank you so much, Mitya, for presentation. Noam has question. Yes, Noam, please.
Will it be possible to cancel orders, for example?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, of course. No, we don't want any cancel order. No, of course, the cancel order is already done in the newest version of but we're not yet make it public, but we will in days time.
Okay. Any other questions, guys, please? Okay, maybe a question for myself.
Sorry. Will there be any? Yeah. Will there
Don't
be
forget to raise your hand, please.
Sorry. Sorry. Will there be any guides for developers to develop on top of Flex? And
it's already there. There is a documentation already for Flex and Flex APIs, Flex endpoint.
Fine,
APIs.
yeah, but there is no market maker sort of documentation how to develop market. There is a base contract for market maker, but the examples which are like your own market makers are pretty complex. So is there some like starter guide for implementing simple strategies?
Well, you have two ways to implement strategies. One way is through debots, like or external APIs, is the way you want it, doesn't matter, which will be executed by your server. That's one simple kind of solution to that. If you want a decentralized market maker, then you must execute it the way we provide the sample for IMM. So you can take our IMM, use it or change it, but in general, you will need to, AMMs are complex. You will need to understand how it works in order to like write something or take our AMM. By the way, this is not the last version. The last version will be published soon, but nevertheless, you will have to take our contracts and use notifications, because you will need your market maker to understand the last order. So yeah, you will need to kind of unfortunately learn all that.
Yeah, for sure. And the second question is, I'm thinking about the platform. There are a lot of platforms on top of centralized exchange, which is like a build. You have building blocks like averages and different analytics stuff, and you can like combine them to implement strategies and script. And how do one approach to build such a product? So what
you
can
take
you
the
advise?
API? Yeah, you take the API that we provide. This is a special endpoint for Flex. So special cloud endpoint for Flex. Which will be chargeable. Right now it's free, but it will be for money, of course. So so you go there. It implements very specific queries on top of Flex order book, which are optimized to performance to performing these queries. Like for example, it can return you the array of contracts salted by certain key.
Okay. Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah. So it makes an optimization for performance of the queries for the order book. So you go there and you study this API, and then you just implement whatever you want on top of it. So you can take the historic data, you can query the historic data with that, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, cool. And continuing the topic of salted contracts, how do the Dapp hoster, Dapp, so imagine I host some Dapp server and I want to extend it with some extended like indexes for salted contracts. How is there any like documentation or approach which I should follow?
No. This is something that is you will have to develop yourself if you want not to use cloud, because this is the cloud. Cloud did a lot of efforts in supporting this, and they probably want to charge for that. So if you want,
so
you can use our.
You can.
Yeah, there is no plans to open source that.
Okay.
Obviously, you can do that yourself. You can take the Dapp server and optimize the queries and so on for what you need. work with Flex because obviously everything is on chain, so you can quite easily kind of study that and do that. But because guys already did that, they want some monetization of this thing. And Flex, by the way, is going to pay cloud as well. You know.
Yeah, for sure. and the last one, I promise. The last one for me is so imagine I have not imagine I have light nodes like light client proxy light client, which is like separate implementation. And how do you think does it is it hard to introduce some support of Flex indexing here? So
well, I'm not very
yeah,
I understand
it's just the indexer for
I know
addresses, for example.
Yeah. Well, I think it will be quite hard, but I'm not very familiar with the you know what limits kind of Broxus introduced to this to the implementation of the Rust node. So I don't know what information they do have there and so on.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Yeah, but
Thank
Ivan, you can text me questions.
Yes,
I will check with guys.
Yeah, that's not really important. I'm just wondering, just for maybe.
No, that's actually a good question, so that we could also understand the ways people are using our indexer SDK. So.
You need to update. You need to update it, by the way, to a new address.
Yeah, we're already in progress. Progress.
Fine, I'm happy to hear that because like people are complaining. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Noam, please.
I don't know if this is the right place to ask, but can you explain how will the market orders will work, because that sounds complex. And
the market obvious. Well, the market order is the current best price order open, right? You want it's just a swap basically. So the easy swap will be that we will determine the best price of open order. So the best open order price right now is 5.6. Then it will be just executing this market. And if it's not fulfilled, if you want to buy 400, it will be just do 5.6 and then 5.7. So in a way, it's like a reverse limit order. That's it.
Cool.
It's not very complex actually. My market order is quite not complex.
Is it atomic? Is it atomic, or it can somehow concurrently? So if somebody wants to eat the glass,
yes,
the service.
Just put the last large order on the market, larger than take all this. If you want to eat all that, just make a arithmetic operation.
And if somebody sends the same messages, will we be concurrently eat this?
Well, whoever comes first, as you know.
Oh, okay. So is it atomic for the one who came first?
It is one who came first. It is not. It is a classic order book protocol. It is not fancy stuff like New York Stock Exchange is doing. But they have a problem they are trying to solve because of this of the limitations of the not limitations but deficiencies over efficiencies, okay, of the algorithmic trading. I don't know what the words to put on this bullshit, but anyway, so this because they have this, so they need to introduce more a little bit fair stuff into the market. So that's why they are implementing
that's what I'm speaking about. Like imagine a high volume.
But we are, I think, because it is quite, in the case of blockchain, particularly in Everscale implementation of Flex, it is quite hard to get unfair advantage simply because you are, you have more resources, right? Because it will still be, you will still need to have a lot of validators on the network, control yourself in order to make it possible for you to somehow squeeze your orders, and it will be very hard to do anyway, because your external message does not go to the order book, because as you have right now in any other DEX like Solana, where your external message is actually what goes to the order book. In our case, of course, it goes first to your wallet contract, which resides in one place, and then it goes to the internal message and because of the different timings of this block executions, you can't predict this. Like, you can't predict what order your internal message will come to the order book. Even if you control validators, it will be hard to do.
Yeah, but you can see other orders which come in.
No, you cannot see other orders. I mean, you can, but when you will see other orders, it will be already too late.
Ah, understood. Because of time header. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't currently see, I thought about that a lot, actually. I don't see like a real strategy that you can perform here with and take advantage of that, right? The front running. It's really hard to implement front running here.
Especially when the protocol will. Yeah.
Sorry?
Especially when the queue of the external messages would work.
Oh, the ramp, yes. In ramp, it's almost impossible. Yeah. The ramp is almost impossible.
Okay. I also wonder, so on traditional exchanges, so on CEXes, I mean, so when you want to get the better performance, so you try to put your market makers into the same collocation the exchange is using, but in terms of flex, so which way could help one to implement the HFT? So is it possible here even for flex?
It is possible, but fair, meaning that you can have, you can analyze the order book, you can put algorithms, you can make algorithms. And IMM in a way is HFT, because IMM reading the orders on chain, getting notifications on chain from every order executed, and then can perform some strategies. You can obviously do that off chain. It will just make you one more message. I would say it's almost the same. And I don't think you can, I don't, as I said, I don't see a strategy where one can just clearly have an advantage. Like taking a validator and putting this in the collocation of, I don't know, of the other validates, it just won't help you in this respect, because it's all mitigated by the architecture of the blockchain. So in that respect, I think it's much more fair way of trading than any CEX today.
Okay.
But the market maker, and the market maker obviously has an advantage of size always, you know. So it's a fair advantage. It's a fair advantage, right? If you put maker orders, you will make some money on maker orders, of course, and you can make some money on not only on the fees structures, but of course, you know, we will introduce obviously the liquidity farming like you did in the cube. And so to encourage more liquidity, the market maker liquidity, and you know, there will be obviously many ways to do money as a market makers.
Good. And by the way, so the fee structure, so for now it is controlled by your team, but do you have some mechanisms to introduce a decentralized way of how these fees will be controlled?
Obviously.
Was they set for each pair separately, meaning the rebates and the fees? So
yeah, the fees are will be controlled by DAO. So there will be obviously Felix token will control a DAO, and the DAO will decide on all this. And all this is not just the fees structure, but also the liquidity, because the fees are taken in native tokens, and they are all these fees, which are take your pays, they all collected into the smart contracts of this, and this reserve smart contracts. And this reserve smart contracts, they always accumulate the fees. They will never pay them out. And the structure is fair DAO structure. So the only way to get this fees out is to burn some FLX tokens against them. So the FLX tokens, they have limited supply. So like and in this reserves, because they will always grow, like except for when someone is burning the FLX tokens against them, but it will be really rare, because it's better to just sell your FLX tokens than just to burn it. And this will give the possibility to use these reserves as, for example, additional liquidity or loans or supporting the marginal trading and so on and so forth. And all that decisions will be taken by DAO as well.
Okay. So, and when do you think you will be able to launch the DAO? So what is the plan?
We are going to launch the DAO quite soon, because the FLX token is already like on sale to some investors, and but they're not physically yet available. But there will be IDO on Flex itself. So maybe the DAO won't have like the full functionality, but the FLX token will come first, and then the functionality which connects to this tokens will come a little later, just because simply to write that take time. But yeah, I mean, we want to go. It's like as soon as possible. That's the answer. We're not planning like to do it in a year or something.
Good. Okay, so guys, any more questions? Mitya, please. Okay, seems there are no more questions. So thank you very much, Mitya, for this beautiful presentation. So yeah, so I also have seen that there are quite a number of people coming to this beta testing group. So hopefully they will provide some valuable comment to you and help you to improve the product.
Please do.
Yes,
thank you.
Yes. So I call to everyone. So please, as usual, the users' feedback is something that developers appreciate the most, and this is something that really helps to understand better your needs. Okay, so actually, this is all for today. So there are two contests running currently, the one for SSI stage 4 and the other one for the Never stage 2. So for some reason, they, as usual, didn't deploy in the interface, but I already asked the interface team to do this. So, if I remember it well, it will end in 6 weeks from start. So this is something like end of April. So if you feel capable, please go and participate in this contest. So the more the merrier. And yeah, that's pretty it for today. So if you have any other topics to discuss, just raise your hand and please. And if not, so I will count 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, thank you for coming. And,
thank you.
As usual, so see you next time, hopefully next week, the same time. So now it is 3 p.m. CET. So thank you who noted this. So see you next week then. Ciao.